Welcome everyone, Costin here on Serious Gaming with a look at Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter MMO. Free-to-play MMO, because that's what Dungeons and Dragons does with the MMOs. In fact, Dungeons and Dragons I think was one of the first free-to-play MMOs, if not one of the more successful free-to-play MMOs. It's kind of set a bad precedent. To me personally, I'm very much against free-to-play MMOs. Some people are like, oh yeah, you know, free-to-play MMOs are awesome. Name me one MMO free-to-play besides Guild Wars 2, which is not free-to-play. You have to pay to be able to. You have to pay for a copy, then you can play it, indefinitely. But whatever, it's not free. But no, name me one free-to-play MMO or MMORPG specifically that's worth a damn, that comes even close in comparison to something like World of Warcraft. There's none, or at least there is none that started out as a free-to-play MMO. There are some which might come close, or you know, might have some potential, or could have had potential to become similar to WoW, like Star Wars or Republic, but they didn't start as free-to-play MMOs. They became free-to-play MMOs later down the line. Anyway, I think even the original Dungeons and Dragons MMO actually started out as a subscription-based MMO, then switched to a free-to-play model. Anyway, in my opinion, free-to-play MMOs, I hate the payment models. Like, oh, you don't have to pay anything, you can just get everything for free. That's bullshit, and everyone knows it. There's no fair free-to-play model for an MMO. There might be a fair free-to-play model for other games, like, you know, Dota 2, perhaps League of Legends, though I haven't played League of Legends, but not for an MMO. Anyway, I'm covering this game because I did pick it up a while ago, got the character to level 10, and, you know, I found it somewhat interesting, but disappointing as a tank. Other people might find it interesting for, you know, caster, ranged player and all that, but as a tank, it's just really disappointing, and I'll show you why when I play a bit later on this Guardian Fighter that's level 10. I'll go into a dungeon. I'm obliged, by the way, I'm obliged legally to tell you that I am getting paid to promote this game, though if you think I'm going to hold back from my criticism on this title, then you're sadly mistaken. If you are interested in this game, if you find it interesting for whatever reason, then you can check it out in the link in the description of this video. Anyway, and when I say I'm getting paid to promote this, that's a network thing. That's a YouTube network thing. They get these offers from companies, and that's basically it. And partners can choose to opt in to those offers. That's all I can say, really. Anyway. First off, and this is actually what caught my eye when it came to this game, it has a lot of graphical options, like a great deal of them. On top of that, you've also got TXA, assuming I can find it. Give me a second here. There's a lot of things over on this side. So we've got dynamic lighting, okay, gameplay, brightness. Oh, anti-aliasing, okay. So we've got TXA 4X. There we go. And TXA is an anti-aliasing method that I'm very fond of personally. I played with it in Crisis 3. I was quite impressed by it there in Crisis 3. Some people hate it because it does make the image somewhat blurry, but the thing is, TXA is one of the best anti-aliasing methods when you're in motion. Like when you're staying still, there are better anti-aliasing methods, but when you're in motion, which is what you're going to be in when you're playing a game most of the time, then TXA is simply a far superior method of anti-aliasing, far better than anything else out there on the market. There are some other methods. If you use an NVIDIA Inspector, you can force anti-aliasing for that. Certain anti-aliasing methods which are not available otherwise, but that can cause issues, performance issues, compatibility issues, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's a lot of options here. I mean, it's a free-to-play MMO. No, actually, it's a PC exclusive game in general. And when it comes to PC exclusive games, you mostly see, especially those that are trying to attract a wide audience, you see a lot of options there. Unfortunately, the problem is with them that I'm gonna skip that. That's just an intro cinematic that's on the uniforms. I'll just go with the already made character here. I'm not going to customize that. Although you can actually customize quite a bit, to be honest. So, for instance, wait a second. You can go half elf. Let me just go over the races. You can play as half orc, human, elf, half elf, drow, dwarf, halfling, tiefling, and high elf. Okay, those are the options available. Male and female, of course, and you've got various classes. Now, the problem I have with this game is that I generally prefer to play melee characters, and yet the melee system of this game has some very serious issues. Now you get random stats, which is wonderful. I'm trying to randomize this to get some higher, okay. And this depends on your race. You can get Constitution or Charisma, Constitution and Wisdom. I'm gonna go Constitution and Wisdom because it seems more suitable. When it comes to customization, you've got some presets, but you've also got a lot of options here: body scaling, body shape, scars, etc, etc. But I'm gonna go with the preset. You can pick a deity. It is a Dungeons and Dragons game, and you've got deities, and it's a Neverwinter game. So you know, if you've played Neverwinter Nights 1, or if you've played Neverwinter Nights 2 or any of the DLC, then you're gonna see some very familiar things here. And actually, that's another reason that I was interested in this. I haven't played any of the Neverwinter Nights games, but I do know quite a bit about their story, the characters, and so on. I found it all very interesting, and when I look at Mask of the Betrayer, it's one of the few stories in video game that actually really disturbed me. Like, really disturbs me. The whole notion in Mask of the Betrayer of having the power to just destroy souls is quite disturbing. And the implications of that, of course, very disturbing. Anyway, you've got background to pick from, and then you can pick character name. Just gonna go with Costin S, and begin. This game allows you to create your own dungeons, your own adventures, so to speak.
Move around using the WAS and T
There
keys.
is mod support, and I cannot stop the tutorials, sadly.
Move to Private Wilfred.
Thank the gods!
F when close
When
to
I
talk
saw
to
the
him.
Draculich attack the ship, I was afraid there would be no survivor. Adventure I can guarantee.
The quest path leads to your
There
next
isn't.
objective.
There is some
Press C to
voice
toggle it
acting,
on
but
and
not
off.
a whole lot of it. Don't expect something like Star Wars or Republic in this game. And you know, I'm just gonna
F
demonstrate
interact with
the
characters and objects.
spell crafting here, and just gonna go for the early area, a bit of it. Half HP, by the way. You only regenerate HP at campsites, or you can
Press I to open your inventory.
yes.
Double-click an item to waypoints appear on the map to mark your quest objectives.
Alright, so
Press
I
the
need
Alt
level
key to
5,
toggle mouse
okay.
cursor and mouse look modes. The quest tracker displays current quest objectives.
Yes, thank you. I have a floating orb. So let's go to the camp. This game graphically is probably one of the better looking MMOs out there. It's running at a solid 60 frames per second right now. There is a FPS limiter. It's like you can see in the upper left
Campfires or
corner.
rest zones where out-of-combat players may heal.
You can see in the upper left corner there next to my character's portrait, and I probably should move that actually. You can customize the HUD. Okay, you can move things around when it comes to HUD, and personally I prefer to move the location of my portrait right here. It's just how I'm used to, so. Generating here. There we go.
Good to meet you. It's good to see someone survive the attack.
Right.
Although we stopped Valindra's main force, the battle is far from over. The battlefield
Is far from over.
Undead
The
who lost
interesting
their masters in
schematic
the fight.
Left
shows
click
a
to launch
huge
magic
battle
missiles at a
taking
single enemy.
place.
reticule over objects and enemies to target them.
Why is it that I
Arcane powers
can't...
build stacks of arcane mastery. Each stack increases your arcane damage.
Mm-hmm. Give aid. Give aid to people. So, you know, it's not too bad when it comes to magic attacks, but the problem is the melee. Oh, I can blink. Interesting.
I need to find a clearing.
My job isn't to kill them, though. So yeah, that's a bit of basic sorcery for you. Must have a target.
Thanks.
It's the combat is kind of action-based. There are certain limits, of course, but it is action-based. For instance, you can't click on things on your UI unless you press down Alt. Then you can click on things. You can go to the chat bar and all that kind of stuff. The mouse is used quite heavily here. So yeah, questing is pretty basic. The dungeons, so from what I've seen, I only saw 2 dungeons, are not that amazing. I've seen dungeons, actually there are some mini dungeons, I guess you could say. Dungeons that are...
We were lucky to drive Valindra. Thank you for
Guide
raiding the
displays
window.
everything you get for leveling up.
I'm
May
afraid I
also
have a
offer
good...
important quests.
So I've leveled up, and when it comes to leveling up, you get points which you can spend on various abilities. I've also gotten a new ability. Unlock one. Can upgrade, I think. Hold on a second. Available at 5 points. Alright. Mastery. Do I need to... Where can I... Oh wait, points spent, not points available. My mistake. I apologize. Those are
Hold the right
automatically
mouse button to
spent
channel
on...
Ray of Frost, slow and free to fire.
Oh, Frost Beam, interesting.
Gold-based powers build
I guess the
stacks of
casting
chill
might
on your
work.
target. Each
Might be
stack reduces
decent.
the target's movement speed.
Let's get some arrows. Now these are characters... Some of these are characters from the Interest in Matchboard related trailer. They used it as material. Actually, many CGI trailers are used for that purpose.
When a Dracolich is killed, its spirit returns to a special phylactery. From there, it can possess the body of another dragon.
Well, I guess I'm called Control Wizard
This
for a
Dracolich's
reason.
spirit has not departed yet. I am trying to bind it here. If it cannot return to the phylactery, we may be able to destroy it, deprive the ninja of a powerful ally.
Yes. So let's get those arrows and complete the quest. Pretty basic. Questing. Combat is okay. The animations, though, especially when it comes to melee, could use some real work.
We found
here.
some ammunition. We must drive the wizard.
Wait, then. Oh. Put them in the barrel.
Thank you for the help. More undead are attacking Neverwinter. They're boiling out of Castle Never and storming the Sleeping Dragon Bridge.
Okay.
If the bridge
What-
falls,
this
they will
is,
enter the heart of the city. Protect his enclave.
This is a
I
bit
must
of
stay and deal with the...
Press Q to launch a chill strike, impaling and freezing an enemy with a shard of ice.
peeling, huh? One shot, huh? There's nothing new when it comes to questing. kind of disappointment in a sense, I guess, for a lot of people that when it comes to quest design, MMOs have not really progressed there that far. I guess Star Wars The Republic for all the issues that game had at least had more interesting quest design, but it's just... It just feels that MMOs focus on other things rather than... Well, a part of the problem is that you have to make you have to take into consideration that people want to play together when when you make an MMO, and you have to make quests take that into consideration. On top of that, you have to design a very big area.
Hello again. You're looking a good deal fiercer than when you washed up on the beach. Told you drying out by the fire would do you good. My mother always says, warm clothes.
Bridge, and we're gonna get into a pretty nasty fight over there. Alright, cinematic. Another one.
They're in trouble! We must go to their aid!
Double tap any direction to teleport away from enemy attacks.
So you can double tap, or you can use shift. But you need stamina. You're useful. Not really.
Coming!
Do not teleport when your stamina is low.
That's my stamina bar. Everyone bites the dust. I can tell you for a fact this is far more enjoyable than the Guardian Fighter. But that's a tank class, but it's pretty Especially, well, it's not just the amount of damage you do, it's the quality of the animations, and it's the fact that you're not that strong in terms of survivability, especially on random levels. And those are taken care of. Moving on. And a couple more explodes. Okay, so gotta clear the way. Dodge that one. And I can use these telegraphs back there. Science telegraphs.
Press 1 to use ice storm, disabling and damaging your enemy.
I'm sure many games will be influenced by WildStar when it comes to that.
We're going to
So
make
it's kind of a shame, really. I don't want games to have circles on the ground to tell me. Oh, that's useful. Alright, in order to be able to use that spell, which I just, like that Frost Nova spell, I need to charge this bar here. And that's it. Oh, you're a fool. That's the main attack. And that's Fighter Champion. So, it doesn't look too bad, does it, when you're playing a caster, but vastly different when you're playing. Once I finish him, I'll go into a dungeon as a male. Dodge. Okay. Yeah, I know. I need to know how to pick up loot, right? Why don't they make such tutorials optional? I don't know.
Sorry, should have. You have.
He's dead. Well, that's the initial area. And welcome to Neverwinter. And you're not gonna go back there again. And after this, you enter the main hub of the city. Which is actually only a tiny portion of the overall city, which is good. Like with many MMOs, I feel the cities are too small to be called cities, so to speak. Here, here, you are actually given a city, a real city in terms of scale. So let me just log out. Yes. Exit now. Well. Don't care if people see how many characters my password has for this game. Anyway. So, entering... I'm in a district of the city, but before I... This is a Guardian Fighter. You can see the quality here, the animations I've talked so much about. And the problem is, this game... When it comes to a Guardian Fighter, you depend on... Oh, basically timed blocks in a sense. Issue with that? Well, I can't help but wonder what the issue might be with timed blocks in an MMO where you have to deal with ping and all kinds of server issues and all kinds of other issues. Anyway. The area you end up in after finishing the tutorial is Protector's Enclave. Then you go through Blackdale District, and finally you end up in Tower District. And you know, you progress through area after area. Blackdale District is a 1 to 10 area, then Tower District is 10 to 20, I believe. Now, I cannot blink on a Guardian Fighter. Instead, I block.
The Many Arrows tribe has claimed this area. Good luck out there. The Many Arrows
West.
Some of our Neverwinter guard patrols have gone missing.
But yeah, I'm not gonna go for that basic stuff.
Captured or killed by the
you've got.
If there are any soldiers left alive, they must be rescued
West.
Before the orc torturers get a hold of them. You looking
Party.
for work?
There's a calendar for events. There's a lot of things, and then there's the Foundry. And the Foundry is where people submit their custom created adventures, dungeons, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things here. There's a lot of things. But anyway, I will... where did I queue up again for... ah, there we go. Queue up. I'm gonna go for Orc Salt. Prefer it over the other one. They're pretty similar though between each other in that they're both wave-based dungeons, quote unquote. Quote unquote. Let's go for Blackdale Terror. Alright. Well, Blackdale Terror. Let's go in there. This is pretty similar, though you fight different enemies. Still, the objective is very similar. Just defend an area from attackers. Here you've got undead, and the other one you've got orcs, or half orcs, I guess, or whatever. So. Trouble at Blackdale. And you have to defend Hazel. Another one, you get a bunch of guards to help you out, and it's not starting because there's no one in the fucking party. Well, I'll just queue up again. Why did it say quest complete? Odd. Well, need more players. Let me just give you a taste of melee combat and how it actually is. If I were just to find some orcs, they're around here. Really, this whole district has been invaded by orcs. You can strike while blocking, so that's useful. But the problem is that you move a lot slower when you do that. Let me just talk with her, I think. Nope. Why does it put me in dungeon if there's not enough people to actually start the event? Why does it say objectives complete? You know, wonderful. There doesn't seem to be any penalty for leaving dungeon. Well, that's maybe because I didn't actually start properly. And also, it's very short. Like, we're talking here a couple of minutes here.
You die now!
Now, when it comes to blocking, you do have a sort of stamina bar. If you do that, then you can't block anymore. Mark targets. It will increase the threat I do against them. In order to increase, or actually to regain the stamina that I lost, I have to shield bash enemies. Obviously, you can't just use it to block continuously, and that will be enough, no. That's not how it's meant to be played. And you're not gonna hold threat if you try and do that. Oh, he helped me out. I would say I'm not the damage dealer. I do have huge problems with the animation quality. I've also got issues with the nature of the timed attacks. It's very, very difficult to be able to appreciate when an opponent is actually going to strike. So, say for instance, I'm just going to kill this one to demonstrate on the other. So, now that was a telegraphed attack, so that was pretty easy. He's going to attack. You can see here, I did block in time, but, you know, just as he was doing his animation, but it didn't register properly. Also, I just got lag. Plenty of lag. I don't think the servers are particularly good for this game. Yeah, that's basically it, really. That's basically it when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter. If you're interested in the universe, you might have you might get some fun out of it. Also, if you're playing a spellcaster or actually any damage dealer, then I guess you will enjoy yourself to a degree. But if you're trying to play this as a tank, don't bother. Tanking in this game is pretty terrible. At least as a Guardian fighter. I'm not sure if other classes can tank. What, do we have rogue tanking in this game? Oh, wonderful. What, is this another Terra? Like, hell, I had the same problems with Terra when it came down to it. It's like, originally I liked the game because of its gameplay concept, but playing, what was it, the Lancer, I believe it was called? Anyway, playing a Lancer was just freaking terrible in that game. It's like, oh yeah, time the blocks. Oh, I certainly like having my screen shake every time I block an attack. Or my character shake like that. That's an over. And I would say Terra had better melee combat defense. Well, better blocking mechanics at least. But why is it that I have to lower my shield an 8 in order to use certain abilities? Yeah, if he does it very slow, then you have enough time to... Or not! It's very clunky, I would say. That's about it. Costin here on Serious Gaming signing out. Again, if you're interested in playing this game, it should run well on a number of systems. It is free after all. And, well, the free-to-play model, you pay for mounts, you pay for various boosters, all that kind of stuff. You know, the usual stuff. I don't know much beyond that. I don't care, really. I really don't care. I'm not sure if you can get items or not in this game. Let me just check that. You can get companions as well. Wonderful. Companion
What can I
collection.
do for you?
I wonder what people will spend their money on. Well, Team Fortress 2, Dota 2 showed people care about the most trivial shit. It's kind of sad, actually, that when it comes to free-to-play games, or actually PC games in general, it's like those are held as models, as profitable PC games. Like, really, is that what PC gaming is going to become? Free-to-play shit? I mean, don't get me wrong, Team Fortress 2 is probably a good game. I haven't played it at all, but I think it's a good game based on what people say. You know, Dota 2 is a great game. It's got a great free-to-play model, but seriously, why is it that the free-to-play model is embraced as a good, as acceptable, really? Why is it? It's like, oh yeah, here's games that are for free, but most of them have models, payment models, that are just terrible, plain terrible. There are a couple of them which have decent free payment models, but I don't think I've ever seen an MMO which has a decent payment model. And some people might say, oh, PlanetSide has a decent payment model. No, PlanetSide does not. I don't care what people tell me. It's like the moment you can get guns in that game is the moment you break the balance. And we're not just talking about trivial stuff here. We're talking about really powerful weapons there that do make a huge difference to the game. But then again, when it comes to shooters, the leveling system, it's like, oh yeah, we should have leveling system and loadouts and all that stuff. It's like, the leveling system for shooters really screws with the balance. It's like, oh, you're a newcomer? Well, enjoy getting demolished by people who have scopes, for starters. which you don't, unless you're using a sniper, enjoy getting butchered by people's scopes with foregrips, all that stuff, with all those upgrades that they get on their weapons, which you have to pay credits for. Well, not real money in Planet Side 2, but you have to level up, and it's quite terrible, in my opinion. But that's just me. What the hell do I know? People love that shit, apparently. Anyway, Costin here on Serious Gaming signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you did like it. Finally, if you want to play this MMO, there's a link in the description of this video, and stay tuned for more. Also, if you like to support the channel, there's a donation link in the description below.